Hello again, and here we are with the Z650 project, and not done much since last week. I haven't done a few things. I finished off painting and prepping the brackets for the engine, got new fasteners for the engine bolts, and that's a story in itself because these fasteners, these nuts, should be M10 fine thread. I didn't have enough of them, so I ordered some more. They came, fitted them. Turns out only one of these three engine bolts actually are M10 fine, the rest are standard M10. So oh god, so clearly, you know, some of these are not standard, which I knew anyway, but so these are not going to stay. What I've done is I've ordered a metre of 10mm stainless steel bar. When that turns up, we'll make up some new stainless steel engine mounts, and that should suit the bike a lot better than fitting these rusty old things. Yeah, so that's good. I've also just had a delivery today, in fact, of the rear wheel bearings. I had some before, but they were the wrong size. They just arrived. I popped them in the freezer, and hopefully in a few hours' time I'll get those bearings in the rear wheel. Then I can take the front and the rear wheel to get some new tyres, and hopefully by the end of this video this bike will be on its wheels at last. And so with that in mind, I've dug out the original chromed handlebar, had a look at it, and it's seen some better days. It really has. It's rusty, it's got a scratch in it, big dent here. I suspect where it's hit the ground, perhaps during the crash, you know, the chrome's been wiped out there, so I'm not fitting that back on the bike. That can go, which means I've got this one here. This is a rental, a gold finish rental, been pre-drilled. That was on the Mark II, but I'm not fitting it to the Mark II. I thought, oh well, I've got gold wheels, you know, perhaps this will do. But I thought, yeah, it's a bit too blingy for me. So instead, I ordered something else. And that something else arrived about an hour ago in this rather larger box. And in here, it's quite expensive handlebar actually. It's another rental, a low rise rental this time, and yeah, there we go. I went for the silver one. It's the closest to original, and it's a yeah, so-called road bike medium. So it's quite comfortable bend. It's not as high as the original, but it's not that low. There you go, silver rental, and not cheap. Something like £45 from the official supplier. So yeah, gonna fit that of course, because once we've got the wheels on, we need some control. So let's get that on now, and we'll see how it looks. And there it's on the bike. I must say, I do like that. It's a rental, but it doesn't shout at you. It's just a plain silver finish. It's also actually a lot lighter than the original steel chromed handlebar. Yeah, I like that. So next up then, I wanted to fit the headlamp, which meant fitting the headlamp bracket that bolts to the yokes. And that's where I found a problem. And so I bolted on the front brake splitter here, which has a bracket on the outside, which in turn allows you to fit the Kawasaki logo, which goes on the front of the forks like that. But I also need to fit this. This is the bracket that holds on the headlamp. And what it does is it fits through two grommets here, like so, and it's got a hole at the bottom that fits somewhere at the base. And that's where I've got a problem. And the problem is this little bracket here, which goes behind the brake splitter, between the splitter and the yokes, because it goes something like that, yeah, something like that, and it's got a bolt in it, which in turn engages with a hole at the bottom of the bracket, like so. And that bolt has sheared off in this bracket, and I can't get it out. I've tried to heat it up, it didn't work. I then tried to hacksaw a slot in the remaining part of the bolt so I can get a screwdriver in there. That worked okay, except then as soon as I apply pressure, the bolt just collapsed. So what to do is take this to Jeff's. He can put it on his pretty big driller drill and just drill out that bolt once and for all, and then clean it up, paint it, get it on the bike, and it's done. But before then, I can bolt on a few more things to the bike. And so the next part I can bolt to frame is this, the kickstand, soft side stand. To do that, I didn't want to fit the old rusty side stand bolt, so I ordered a new one from Kawasaki from Z Power. And here it is, it's arrived, great, except they're not the same. The old one is a lot fatter, a lot bigger than the new one. Not sure why, because this is for Kawasaki Z650, so a bit of a puzzle there. I can put it actually with my other 650, and they do use a small one, the standard one. So I was wondering, maybe at some point in the past someone's bored out and tapped out the hole in the frame and the side stand to use this bigger bolt. I'm not sure why. Perhaps it was worn and, you know, they wanted to just get something in there that doesn't flop around. So I've no idea what size that is and what it's from. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that to my list of jobs for Jeff. He can machine me up one of them from stainless steel, put it in the bike, done. Not a cheap solution, but at least it's done then. It's you know, it's just problem solved. Right, so can't do that yet, but I can fit something else. Okay, so next up then, I just happen to have this spare Tomicelli throttle here, complete with rental grips. So we'll pop that on. I might not keep it on there, but if I've got it, so I may as well use it. And it has the advantage that it just provides some protection from damage from the, you know, in case it falls over something like that, or in case it hits something, the rubber will hopefully protect things a bit better than a bare handlebar. So let's just pop him on there. I'm not sure whether I'll keep this one or not. I might change it. I might fit the original. I don't know. We'll see. The bike's not very original now, is it? So I've got this and this will fit it. I won't yet fit the other grip because I'm not sure yet what's happening with the handlebar controls for the electrics. I say they've been polished on the bike when I got it. I'm not sure the state of them. They might be worn out. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to fit multi-gadget switches along with an M unit. It all depends on cost, because this bike is starting to cost quite a lot of money. I'm up to 4 figures already on this bike, and I've not got an engine yet, but we're getting there, So anyway, that's that. So let's put this bike back in the garage and I'll go and see Jeff and hopefully sort out a few problems along with some of the problems we've got with the Mark II project. And now I'm back from Jeff's workshop, where he drilled out that damn broken bolt. We ran a tap to the nut, make sure the thread was okay, and I brought it back home, cleaned it up, got the rust off it anyway. And now I'm going to paint it with good old Hammerite smooth black paint. So here we go, first coat. There we go. So this will take a few coats, no doubt. So I'll just paint it, wait half an hour, paint another coat, and wait half an hour, paint another coat. I think 3 or 4 coats should be enough. You can't even see this actually on the bike, you can hardly see this, so you know, it's not vital, but I would like to make it look as good as I can do. Yeah, so there's the first coat, that's fine. I'll come back in half an hour for the second and third and so on, and we'll soon have it on the bike. Oh, and one more thing that I forgot to mention earlier on is that, of course, I've now fitted the R6 brake master cylinder to match the R6 calipers and discs. Yeah, it goes on okay, it's in good condition. I just haven't yet got the little bracket to mount the dashpot to its body, so that's okay, we'll sort that out. And of course I'll change the various fasteners that are on there, fit some new ones, but yeah, pretty happy with that. So, let's see what's next. And that something is the side panels, or rather the badges on the side panels. As you can see, I've just fitted them, and well, they've seen better days, haven't they? The paint's long gone, looking very sad. So what I've got to do is repaint the Z650 on these badges. And that might be quite tricky because it's quite small, I'm getting quite old, and my hands are really not quite as steady as they once were. But I've gone and bought myself some very, very small brushes and some Tamiya acrylic white paint, as used on models back in the day. In fact, I used them, what, 20 or 30 years ago when I was just to make models. So I'm going to go in the house now, have a cup of tea, calm down, and we'll see how well I can paint in the Z650 on these badges. Wish me luck. And so now we're back indoors, and here we have one of my side panels with the badge, and now I've got a little pot of Tamiya acrylic white paint. I've just got these so-called detail paint brushes, and they are tiny. I've just been having a little play with them, and yeah, so there's some of them, and I found that the very smallest one, you can barely see it, that one's too big, and that one's about right, and believe me, it is tiny. So let me zoom in, and I'll show you what I've been up to. And so now we can see the small pot of Tamiya acrylic white paint, and also these rather tiny brushes. And I found this one here, which is really small, to be the best one. So I had a go. This one I've not done yet, but I had a go, and it didn't go very well. This is my first attempt. You see it there, it looks absolutely awful. Now, the problem is that you've got a sort of recessed area, followed by a smooth outer area, which is raised up. And I thought, oh well, I'll just paint the inside, but you can't do it, it's so tiny you can't do it. So I thought, right, okay, I'll paint the outside too. So what I've done here is I've just been edging towards the outside. You can see it looks absolutely awful, but it's more like a first coat, if you like. I'm just edging towards the edges. I don't want to go too far because then it runs over and you get into all kinds of trouble because the background is lined. So if you get paint in there, you can't really get it out. So although this looks terrible, it's not bad because I just need to keep on going and slowly edge my way to the very edge of this raised area. However, I found a problem. And that problem was with me. And it wasn't the fact that I didn't have the dexterity anymore to actually paint very delicately around these letters. It was that I couldn't really see it. It's unless the light's absolutely perfect, and I was struggling to see where my brush was, and so even with my glasses on, I struggled. So what I've done is I've ordered a giant magnifying glass on a stem, which hopefully will help me see what the hell's going on. So that's due today. So when it arrives, I'll carry on and hopefully do a better job than that, but we'll see. And so while we wait for that magnifying glass to arrive, I can go back in the garage and fit that little bracket that I painted earlier on. It's now dry, get that back in the bike, and then I can fit the brackets to hold the headlamp in place. I haven't got a headlamp yet because they didn't have it in stock, but at least I can get the bracket in place. I can also now take the wheels to get new tyres fitted because I've now got the new wheel bearings in place. Or rather, I can't, at least not yet. I've got a drive over there, and at the moment I'm not allowed to drive for another about 8 or 9 days, so we'll have to wait until I can drive and I can get the tyres on. So a bit of a delay there, but I'm sure I can still find plenty to do in the meantime. So now here we are, back in the garage. As you can see, I've now fitted that painted bracket, which sits behind the brake splitter, and then we've got this other bracket on the outside, and that one is so we can fit this little plastic cover like so. Actually, I might change that. I'm not happy with that. I might buy a new one, but we'll see. Right, so with that done then, I can now hopefully fit the bracket which holds on the headlamp. And that bracket is here, and it fits into the top yoke from beneath and into the bottom, which fits on that bracket, something like that. I've fitted some new grommets, actually not the correct grommets, but it's the ones I had. So we'll bang them on and hopefully all will be well. And now there's that bracket back on the bike at last. I have used stainless fasteners throughout, and with some giant penny washers just to spread out the load on those rubber grommets. A bit too big really, but never mind, you can't see them when the headlamp's in place. And so when it comes to the headlamp, I have got the original headlamp here, which has seen better days. It's rusty, slightly dented, and the rim is also rusty and dented, along with having a big gouge in it from no doubt when it went down the road. So I can't fit that, I probably could fit this old rusty headlamp shell and buy a new rim and headlamp, but to be honest, for the cost of this thing, it's about what, £20–30 for a shell. It's not worth it. It's got some quite bad rust down here. It's also been drilled, I think, twice where it shouldn't be, so yeah, I don't think I'm using that one. As I mentioned before, when I last looked, I had no such headlamps in stock. That said though, over here I have found an old, quite a new box that I bought some time ago for something else that I never used. In here, it's from Alchemy Parts, who sell some quite decent stuff but expensive stuff. I've got a new headlamp, aftermarket headlamp. The problem is, it's a bit small. Compare and contrast. This is a 7-incher, and that's a 6-incher. So I thought, well, I could fit that. I am thinking actually of fitting a little copper fairing. So the fact it's got a slightly smaller headlamp doesn't really bother me too much. I will have to make some spaces though to make it fit. So I might just try it here to see what's going on. Oh god, yeah, it's miles out. It's miles out. I think that's more than an inch. That's for damn sure. I think that's a 6-inch one anyway. Let me have a look. Yeah, 6 inches. So it seems more than that. I think perhaps because it doesn't have the additions on each side. But anyway, I can't fit that. It's far too small. It's a pity actually because it's a nice sort of retro lamp. So that will go back in the box for today. back on the shelf, no doubt for years to come. I'll have to wait to see when these headlamps are back in stock at Z Power. Now, I could go and buy one from eBay, from Amazon, but the vast majority come from China, and these days they have plastic shells, and they look plastic. They're sort of like, yeah, they don't look very good at all. So I don't want to fit a plastic shelled headlamp to the bike. I want to stick with original sort of look, which is a steel painted headlamp shell. So that'll have to wait. But at least I've got these rubber bungs, which you need to have. They're in good condition, so yeah, that's great. I'll keep them because we need them. So can't do that. Let's see what else I can do then today. And one of those things, of course, is to fit this new rear lamp with its one-off mount. So I've got to measure where the holes are, drill it, and also work out how to mount it at the right angle, because I'm mounting it to a rear mudguard that's bending like this, so I can't just bolt it straight on, because then it'll end up pointing that way. I've got to point it that way. So I've come up with an idea how to do it. It's quite a simple idea, but again, I need to travel, go and see Jeff the welder. He's a few miles away. I guess I can walk there, I suppose, at some point. But yeah, that'll have to be also delayed because I can't drive at the moment. But anyway, bit of a problem there. What I can do though today is measure the lengths I need for the brake lines and get them ordered from Hell. They're about 20 to 30 pounds per line. I need 3 lines, so it'll be about 90 pounds, something like that. I use Hell for everything because they're really good quality. I really like them, and I always go for the black plastic covered version in black. I don't like these multicoloured brake lines. I think they should stay black, and that's it. Anyway, so that's that I've got to do. Also, what I can't do, where it's gone, no, it's not here today, it's in a box, is I can't mount the instrumentation because the Speedo was driven by the front wheel. Can't do that anymore because the drive is hidden, or rather obscured, by the adapters for the discs. So I've got to go for a electronic Speedo, and ditto the tacho. Well, the tacho, I'm not sure what to do there because I don't know if I'm keeping the Z650 engine or going to a Z750 engine or what, so I can't yet decide what to do. I'll probably end up reluctantly fitting a modern combo tacho Speedo unit as I fitted to some of my other bikes. I say reluctantly because I'd rather keep that retro look with the twin clocks, but you know, if you can't do it, you can't do it. Also, that's another reason why I might fit a little cockpit fairing, so it sort of hides all that. Not to worry about it, looks quite good. Don't worry about the fact it's got a modern Speedo tacho unit on there. Right, so what else can I do? What else can I do? What else can I do? There are some small stuff, but not really worth making a video about. Yeah, so little pause now, and I'll come back in a day or two, and hopefully we'll get a bit more done.